I found out after a decade that my brother is alive and thriving. 12 years ago when I 28F was 16, my brother Ryan, now 30M, was kicked out by our parents when he was 18 because he's gay. After he left, he moved in with a friend, but for the first 2 years I kept in contact with him. He moved in with friends, bouncing from place to place. I would chat with him frequently and would meet up with him from time to time, without our parents knowing. He wasn't doing well at all and I could tell he was deeply depressed and affected from what our parents did to him. One day, when he was 18, he invited me for coffee and told me that he was leaving England to stay with a friend up in Scotland. I told him I would continue to call him and that I would be here for him. And I was for about 6 months until my parents found out I was still in contact with him. Their conditioning was I cut all contact or I'm also kicked out and disinherited. My uncle would have let me stay with him, but I needed the money from my parents for schooling, so I cut contact in the worst way possible. I would message and call him, and then one day I just stopped. I constantly wonder about my brother, if he was alive, and if so, how was he doing? He had drinking issues and even dabbled in substances after getting disowned, so I tried to make him see I was there for him, maybe try and give him a reason to stay clean, but I broke that promise to him. I genuinely thought he was dead as I hadn't seen anything on social media, and after school I tried to reach back out to him to apologize for everything, but he must have changed his contact information because it went blank. A decade later, my dad passed of a heart attack, my mother moved in with her sister and her kids, and I was left the house previously in my dad's name. I earn good in my field of work and I'm dating someone, but I still am clueless about my brother. Recently I was given the task of training a new staff member who moved from Scotland to England where I am. We have been chatting for about 2 months now and we are quite good friends. I told him roughly about my brother and that I haven't seen him in a decade because of my parents and that I often wonder about him. I have one picture of him from when he was 15 and me 13 and I showed him. Turns out the place he worked in Scotland, he worked with my brother's husband and he attended their wedding. He showed pictures from his husband's Facebook. He's alive, married, owns a nice house and they have a kid together. I've spent all this time wondering about all these things that could have happened to him and now I know. My coworker said I went pale when I saw the picture of the wedding. He looks the same, just now with a beard. My first instinct was that I had to reach out to him, but after thinking about it I don't know if I should. I'm not sure if the roles were reversed, that I'd want to be reached out to. I feel as though all I'd do is serve as a reminder of one of the worst times of his life, and what's worse, he might see what I did. After all, I chose inheritance and money over my brother. I wasn't a young teenager, I was 18, an adult who could have moved out, but I cut him off anyway. I'm at war with myself. One half of me wants to reach out and let him know I'm so sorry for what I did and that I get if he doesn't want anything to do with me, but the other half thinks I should leave him be. He's content and happy it seems, so should I leave him to his life and let him stay ignorant to what I did? But I also wonder what he thinks of me now, if he knows my parents forced me into ghosting him or if he thinks I did it out of choice. If anyone has been through anything similar, or even if you haven't, what should I do? What would you want if you were in this situation?